Hi there, welcome to today's video. In this tutorial, we're going to paint a chick with acrylic paints. And if you're new here, check out my painting quick start guide that's in the description below. And you can also find a link to this sketch and the colors that I'm using and the brushes so that you can paint along. And let's go ahead and start with a size 0 round brush. Let's take some of this burnt sienna color, which is like a warm light brown. And I want to put that around the eye. And then I'm going to bring it down this way a little bit. And then let's go around the beak. I can go around this area. So I'm doing a little bit of an underpainting here. Let's go around the wing. Just start to sort of define the shapes. And let's bring that down here along the feet. So I'm going to put this in some of these shadow areas of the little feet. Just have a nice outline there. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this gray paint and I want to use that to go around the shape of the wings. Okay, so now let's go back to the eye. I want this light color. Let's mix a little bit of the burnt sienna with some yellow ochre and put that in the middle of the eye to act as a highlight. And then we can take some black and sort of add in the pupil and then go around the outside of that eye as well. Very carefully here. And then you can sort of blend that a little bit, but try to keep that highlight in there. Okay, so now let's work on the beak. So for that, I'm going to take some orange paint and let's mix it with some gray. And that's going to allow us to get a nice shadow color. And let's start putting that in along the bottom of the beak and in any areas that are in shadow. Now let's take some white and add it to that color. Get a lighter version of that and start putting that in. Okay, then I'm going to take a straight orange and then a yellow and have that be a highlight. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush here. All right, so now we could move to the feet and let's sort of do that same thing. So I'll take some gray paint and some orange, mix a nice shadow color, and let's start putting that in for the feet along some of these areas that are in shadow. Then I'm going to take a lighter value with some orange and some white. And that can sort of transition into a lighter color. And then I'll take some white and some yellow, and then we can put that in as sort of a highlight for the feet. Put that in where the lightest values are. Okay, and you can let it blend together a little bit. Maybe take some white and put some highlight in there. Okay, so we'll do that same thing for this foot. I'm going to take some burnt sienna and mix it into that darker shadow color with the orange and the gray. Put that in. Then put that along some of the shadow area. Then we can get lighter. And then use a light yellow, some white. as a highlight there. Okay, and you don't have to be too precise with the feet. You can leave it a little bit less detailed if you want. Just gonna add some more orange. So I have a little bit too much yellow. Okay, so now let's work on the body shape and the larger part of the body. So to do that, I want to switch brushes. You want to use a bigger brush when you're painting a larger area. So we can move to, let's try a size 3 flat brush. And you could use any kind of smallish flat brush size that you have. A 6 would work well, would work good as well. And now let's start putting in some dark values. So I want to mix up a dark shadow color. Let's take some of this light gray and some of this yellow ochre, which is a nice kind of gold color. Also going to add some white to that and a little more gray. Just want a nice shadow color. So let's see how this looks. Okay, I think that's a pretty nice color for the shadow. So I'm going to start putting that in some areas that we want to be in a little bit darker of a shadow. Okay, I'm just blocking in this color. Come over here. Okay, we could bring that underneath this area. Okay, so now we want to get lighter, so let's take some white and sort of let that mix in with this color. And you can start transitioning that sort of around this darker shadow color that you made. Just gradually changing the value. And let's put this color over here. Almost like a mid-tone shadow. Okay, and then I want to get lighter, so I'm going to take some white, mix some yellow in there. You can also get a little bit more saturated as we get into the center. It's a little bit too bright, so I'm going to add more white. Okay, so I'll keep adding this more saturated yellow. So up around the head area here, we can add this nice yellow color. And then I'm going to grab some white and sort of feather that in so that it gets lighter up there. Okay, around this area of the cheek, it's going to be pretty light. So let's put that light value in right now. And we could take some gray to add a little bit of shadow around that. Okay, I'm going to continue with the shadow color coming down this area. Okay, and I'm getting pretty painterly brush strokes here. Let's come down this way. And then in the center, we want to get pretty light. So I'm going to add just some white. And when I pick white up with my paintbrush and there's still a color in there, it's kind of mixing together right on the page. So it's not coming out as a straight white if I already had some of the previous color inside the brush. Okay, so over here, I want to get more shadow. So I'll pick up that gray. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything is transitioning. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more gray over here. Okay, so now let's do the wing area. So I'm going to take some of this bright yellow and let's put that in first. And that'll hopefully give a contrast between this shadow and the wing. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up some yellow, or white rather, and let that blend together. Okay, and then we're going back towards shadow. So I'll take this mix that we made. Okay, and then I'm going to keep spreading that out. Okay, and let's just fill in these little individual areas here. Okay, I think that's good. And then this area in the back, it's pretty light, so let's take some white paint. Start putting that in there. Okay, so I think that's a great first layer. You could go back and sort of refine things if you wanted to make some final highlights. I'm going to take this flat brush and let's put a few final highlights in there. So let's take a straight white. I'm going to put some around the cheek and then up around here, sort of making those feather shapes. And then around this area here, we can add a little bit of white. Okay, so now I'm going to switch back to my size 0 round brush. And let's just add a little more detail to the eye. So I'm going to pick up some white paint and let's put in that little dot for the eye. Okay, I think that looks good. And now I'm going to put in a highlight for the beak. So we'll come over here with a highlight. And then I think I need to bring back some dark shadow. So I'm going to mix a little bit of black with this light burnt sienna. And then let's put that in. Kind of lost the line in between the beak. Let's see if we can put that in. And then just add a little bit of shadow. And then maybe put some up around the top and feather it down. Okay, and then there's some white of the paper there that I want to smooth out a little bit. Then let's take some yellow ochre and see if we can sort of transition that color around the eye. Okay, and then for the last thing, I just want to try to put a little eyelid there underneath the eye. Let's see if we could do that, maybe with a light yellow color that we mixed up. And this will take a lot of coordination, so try to get pretty close and very carefully. So it's going to be just between where the black and the burnt sienna color is. Okay, nice. All right, and let's just do, I want to put a highlight maybe around this area where those individual wings are. And I might need to bring those back out with some shadow as well. So I can bring some of the darker gray color and try to bring some of that back a little bit. Okay. All right, right, so step back and see if there's any final adjustments that you want to make, any highlights. Let's maybe take a little bit of white paint and maybe feather some over here as a highlight. And you could feather some of this down as well. Just make some texture. Okay, but I think we will call this painting complete. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to get your quick start guide in the description below, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.